All right, and welcome back to episode 9 of the Alec Frengos show. This is a sports podcast centered around NBA and NFL. And today I'm here joined by Mac Russell, Mac Roy, and Jake LaRue, all first comers of the show. And today we'll be talking about the top 5 athletes of all time. Which NBA skill set would you put in your bag if you were to get the chance? What is the most unbreakable record in sports? And more. Right now in sports, there's not much to talk about. You got the MLB All-Star Weekend going on, no NFL, no NBA, no soccer, no tennis.
We got the Scottish Tour going on right now in golf.
So there's not much.
You guys see that, what's that guy's name? Ricky Fowler drive?
I didn't.
It was like 4:30.
Is F1 on still or no?
I don't know. Anyways, probably there's not much to talk about. So we're gonna go over some lists here and your guys' top 5 athletes, and other questions that we've got here. So we're going to start here first by giving a quick shout out to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. You got the jersey on. MLB home run derby champion.
Go represent.
For us Blue Jays fans. So we're going to get into the first topic here. We're going to do which NBA player's skill set would you add to your game? So we like playing pickup basketball a lot. We're no NBA players, but if you were to add an NBA skill set to your game, what would it be? I'm going to start with you, Mac Roy.
Dude, that's a good question. That's a really good question. Honestly, there are a bunch of different ways that you could take this.
There are.
You could be the shooter, playmaker off the ball, the guy like Steph Curry, but then you could also be like prime LeBron, And, yeah, dude, honestly, if I had to go one way, I'd go for like the prime LeBron, Like,
okay.
You can do it all, carry a team.
Let me specify it. Like, which skill set? So, like, Curry shooting, Giannis strength, Westbrook athleticism, etc.
Yeah, like I'd say definitely Giannis strength. It can go a long way.
So you obviously got that. You got a pretty good bag yourself, right? You've got pretty athletic. You've got a good jumper. You can almost dunk. How tall do you stand?
About like 5'9".
Stands about 5'9" and can almost dunk. So we've got a pure athlete here, and adding that Giannis strength to your bag would make you pretty unstoppable.
Crazy. Oh yeah, for sure.
Like
if I was 7 feet, everybody always likes to have this conversation. Oh yeah, if I had this, then I'd be in the league.
Yeah, of course.
But yeah, I'm sure if I was 7 feet, I could potentially make the league. But
okay.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm like, half a foot shorter than Steph Curry, like, I can't go out there and do the things that he's doing, man, like, I'd have to put up a lot of reps, put in a lot of work to become that, and, that's just a lot of time and effort, whereas you're Giannis Antetokounmpo, you're 7 feet, and you're jacked, man, Like, what can you not do,
Sounds
man,
like
like, today's NBA, we got my boy Wemby, like, come on.
Which we'll be talking about later.
Yeah, like, Giannis versus Wemby, I don't know, man. They wouldn't be ready.
I'm going to go second here, and I feel like if I were to add something to my game, I'd go Ja Morant's athleticism. I think that myself, I'm a slow fundamental player. I'm not shifty and very explosive, but I feel like if I had that Ja Morant hop to me, athleticism, quick first step, I feel like it'd be very efficient to add to my basketball game. So I'm going to go with you here, Mac. What would you add?
I think you need to sit back and look at your build and what you bring athletically. Like, if you're a 7-footer, obviously you're delusional not to pick Stephen Curry's jump shot, even if you're a 6-footer.
Yeah.
Honestly, I play like Ben Simmons. I can slash, I can play make, I can dunk on your head, I can play that post game, back to the basket, front to the basket.
Okay.
I just got no strap. I'm thinking, if I can stretch that floor, I'm deadly.
Yeah.
So we're talking about like rookie season, year 2, Ben Simmons. Obviously not Ben Simmons today, day and age.
No,
like Ben Simmons with a little jumper. So what is the skill set you would add to your game?
I think I'd be delusional not to add the Curry jump shot.
Obviously.
You can pull it from anywhere. Just fucking spread the defense. You're unstoppable at that point. And then I got a quick first step, post you up, and looking like Kobe Bryant out there, to be honest.
Jake, go ahead.
I don't know, man. I got a lot of options here. I'd go with anything, to be honest, because I don't got a very deep bag here. So, honestly, Curry shooting would be nice, but
I feel like that'd be the obvious consensus pick. Curry shooting.
You're
Delusional
right.
to be shoot from
yeah,
anywhere.
but honestly, I think I got to go with like LeBron's athleticism.
Okay.
He's just a freak,
Yeah.
really.
Just put that on top of your paper. The
What is he,
yeah.
250 pounds, throwing down windmill
Yeah.
360s? It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's unreal.
Definitely
So
LeBron.
I'm gonna go with LeBron's athleticism.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
for
yeah,
sure.
we got Jaws
That guy's a
athleticism.
demon.
LeBron's
I think that's
athleticism.
the thing we're going with athleticism today. I think I'd take Westbrook's then if I can't have a jump shot.
Okay.
I'd
you
love
go.
to jump out the gym. I'd love to catch a body. I'd love to sprint down the floor, run the game.
Facts.
What
That is
would,
true.
what would you rather, like Westbrook, Ja, LeBron type prime athleticism, or Curry's jump shot in your opinion? Like, would you rather want to jump out of the gym and basically do every dunk,
Like,
or would
but
you
I
rather
think
shoot
for a
from
guy
anywhere on
like
the floor?
Me, you know, like that's a big part of it. You know, is just being able to do things that not anybody can do with
Exactly.
a limited amount of reps. You know, like if you take a million reps just sitting there and taking a jumper, you're gonna get pretty good at shooting jumpers. But at the end of the
Exactly.
day, your genetics can only get you so far. You know, like so. Yeah, if you can have that and nobody else can, you're good. You're set.
I agree. Go ahead, Mac.
I think for me, with my current bag, adding the athleticism would just make me a great athlete. I don't think I have a deep enough bag to actually go far in basketball. That's why I think the jump shot alone would carry me, because I'm athletic enough now, but I don't have that basketball bag. I don't have that
Obviously,
handle.
yeah.
I don't have that playmaking ability. I think if I have that Curry handle, jump shot creation,
From anywhere on the floor.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm scoring. I'm a threat. Whereas
Yeah.
if I had Westbrook's athleticism, I don't have that. I
Jump
could be
shot.
a long jumper, professional dunker, track and field, but I'm not a great basketball player.
You're gonna be shooting up a lot of bricks.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
I
Alright.
like that jaw pick. That's a good pick.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna go into the second topic here. What's the most unbreakable record in sports to this day? We've got a ton of them from the olden days, to this generation. There's been some crazy numbers, but what's the most unbreakable record in sports currently? I'm gonna start with you, Jake.
Honestly, simple. Gretzky's points.
Okay.
This guy's unreal.
How many
I
points
don't
is
think
that?
anyone's beating that in this day and age. I don't know. The goalie's equipment is just too advanced now, and
Yeah. So what's
no
the
one's getting
exact
that.
number on the points here?
I don't know, man. Like,
Are we talking single season or all time?
Either.
His.
either I think.
So nobody will touch.
I think his. I don't know the exact number, but I know it's high up there. I think it's like 2,000.
all time.
All time, yeah. Maybe pushing 3,000. I could be wrong.
And is Ovechkin chasing him for the goals all time or the
Yeah,
points all time?
goals,
Just goals?
goals.
Okay, yeah. So we're gonna go with Gretzky points for you for the most unbreakable record currently. I'm gonna go to you here, Roy. What's your most unbreakable record in sports?
I don't know, man. You know, like there's some good track and field ones in there. You know, that are just like I don't know how anybody's putting up those numbers. You know, but at the end of the day, there's this guy named Wilt Chamberlain. You know,
Fuck.
I don't even, and Bill Russell too with the amount of championships. You know,
Okay.
those guys back in the day, like they were
like
just
6
on
teams.
They were on another level. Yeah, there was 6 teams. You know, like.
So
But
would you?
what is it, like 30 teams now, 32 teams?
Yeah.
You're not going to be putting up those type of numbered championship numbers, but
You're right.
as far as anything else goes, like Wilt, like single game scoring, stuff like that.
So-
it won't ever be touched.
We're gonna go yours. Wilt Chamberlain 100-point record.
Yep.
Okay. And Mac, is that what you had? And you're gonna
I
agree
had
on that?
100-point game because I think with how basketball's evolving, you know, the top player nowadays versus the worst player nowadays, the gap isn't there. Whereas
Yeah.
50 years ago, the worst player in the NBA looks like a McDonald's manager.
Part-time
right?
job.
So,
Yeah. You're right.
Yeah, it might be even a bit generous.
I
too.
think guys will come close. You know, someone dropped. Who was it that dropped 71?
Donovan Mitchell had
71 this
71.
year,
Booker had 70.
Kobe
Yeah.
81. I think guys will get close, but I think as the game evolves, it's gonna be harder and harder. And you know, these stars don't want to play all the time like Wilt did. I think Wilt averaged 49 minutes a game. I don't know how that's fucking possible. But these guys, like, I love LeBron,
Yeah.
the longevity. I think these guys aren't playing full game, so I'm gonna say 100-point game.
The NBA has turned into a very scoring dominant league where there's almost 20 guys averaging 30 points a
Yeah.
game, but I feel like it is way too hard to score 100 points. Like
Yeah.
it almost
Yeah.
seems impossible.
Yeah.
In the max game, Donovan Mitchell basically played the whole game and he's
Oh, yeah.
scoring 71.
Yeah, for
Dame
sure.
also had either 60 or 70
Yeah.
this year. So I feel like there can't be like another gear or like time. There's no legit time for these guys to go out and give 100 where Wilt he did it without 3-pointers, I'm pretty sure, either, which
guys are just too
I don't
athletic
know.
now.
And there's conspiracies, obviously, if that's true or not, that he scored 100, but
in the books.
in the books. That is
in the
100
books.
points, which brings me to my unbreakable record. Bill Russell, 11 championships. I don't think anybody will ever hit that ever in their career. I think the second closest is Robert Horry, and he was just on a bunch of teams that he was carried
Mickey
to.
Mouse rings.
But Bill Russell,
Mickey Mouse rings.
this is just
those COVID bubble rings, you know.
this is just unbreakable because the NBA today is way too competitive where you're going to be able to go not only three-peat again. I think the Warriors three-peat is the last we'll see in about maybe a decade or ever. I think it's just way too competitive nowadays. And for you to win, what do you play? If you're an average player, you play 16 years max, maybe 15, 14, and you basically have to win every year but 2 years. So I think it's basically an unbreakable record unless you get very lucky. Pat McCaw, he had a three-peat, 2 with the Warriors, 1 with the Raptors, but then
Nothing since.
So I think 11 championships, not only in basketball but any sport, NBA, NHL, MLB. I don't think 11
Super Bowls.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that will be able to ever be touched.
Definitely not.
So you got Wilt, you got Wilt as well. I got Russell, and then you obviously have Gretzky points, which
The great one, yeah.
very, very hard to touch too.
Yeah, that guy, he was a dog back in the day.
Isn't the saying, like, if you never scored a goal, you'd still have the most points ever with just assists alone?
I don't know if that's
Something
true,
like
but
that.
I think
if it's
assists
statistically
alone,
true,
yeah.
but that's just how
And
dominant
he's still the
Gretzky.
leading scorer all time?
Yeah,
The goals, yeah.
obviously that's how dominant Gretzky was. Which dog?
I honestly think Ovi breaks his goals, though.
Do you? So how
I think
many is
Ovi
he off?
did?
I think he can get
dude.
there.
How much is he off?
That
Maybe
Like,
grandpa-looking
I-
dude, man. He's
100, maybe?
He'll play till he's 70 if he has to.
That's what I mean.
I
That's-
saw
that's why I
like
think
a
he's gonna
record
break
on
it.
pace, and it was like if he played like I think 5 more years, he'd be on pace to
Yeah.
break it. So I don't know if he can
He's gotta-
sustain
he's
that
gotta
level
have
of
some
goal
good
scoring.
seasons.
Yeah, so it could be broken, but obviously Gretzky points total is far from being reached.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Which, talking about great athletes, will bring us into the headline of the episode here. We're going to go into top 5 athletes of all time. And I've allowed everyone here to have 3 honorable mentions because obviously there's so many great athletes that have played in any sport. So I'm going to start here with we'll go around, we'll do honorable mentions, and then 5, 4 around the table. And I'm going to start first with my 3 honorable mentions. I'm going to have in my honorable mentions LeBron James, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Michael Phelps. I feel like Michael Phelps is obviously underlooked, but he's dominated the Olympics for his whole career. He's probably obviously the best swimmer of all time, and yeah, he's obviously a great that doesn't get as much recognition because he's not in a major sport. So go ahead.
Okay, so these ones are a little bit off the board.
Okay.
The one's a really hot take. You guys are gonna.
Are they more of projections?
They're
or?
more projections. They're gonna be. One guy is a GOAT, and then 2 are on the come up. One's already got the status, but he's on the come up. So we got
I think I
Pele.
know. Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Pele?
I think I know where this is headed.
And then we got Shohei Ohtani.
Yep. Okay.
That guy's just a robot. And then we got Cole Caulfield.
I knew that was going to be coming. So
Dude,
obviously
you're
a Montreal,
delusional.
obviously a Montreal
What are you
Canadiens fan,
smoking?
and you had to throw that in there. But to touch on the Shohei Ohtani quickly, we were doing top 5 athletes currently, and I think everyone had Ohtani 2-1 in the last episode or the episode before. And Joey made a point where he said if this guy can win a World Series, he could be one of the greatest athletes ever just by 100%. A championship, because obviously 100%. That's the main thing you play sports for is to win championships, right?
Yeah,
so
for sure, definitely.
Shohei Ohtani, I don't mind having him in the honorable mention there because he is that type of unicorn player that you will never see ever again or you have ever seen. Go ahead with your honorable mentions.
So I feel kind of bad. I forgot about football or soccer.
That's fine.
So my honorable mentions, I got TB12, fucking dog.
Honorable mention.
Yeah, I was gonna put him in the top 5, but I had to show love to my other brothers in there. So got TB12, Wayne Gretzky. I didn't want to put him, but you can't knock the guy. He dominated, won chips, dominated the score sheet.
Of course.
He played in a soft era, like not soft, isn't like they're pretty physical, but I'm saying like. Playing against accountants back then. Half the guys couldn't skate.
Still
couldn't
greatness,
couldn't raise the puck, but he's still the GOAT. And then this is kind of a hot one. I put Shaq just off pure dominance in his prime. No one was touching the guy. He's bodying everyone. He still won, 3 chips?
3 or 4, yeah.
Yeah, absolute. Yep. You can't knock the guy. He's literally the most dominant athlete of all time, any sport.
That's fair.
And yeah.
So before you go here, Roy, sorry, who is your second honorable mention?
Gretzky, and then
Okay,
TB12.
yeah. Obviously, there's a debate here for Gretzky of how hockey's evolved, where you could say McDavid is more skilled than Gretzky.
Crosby's better.
Like, the way hockey has evolved, honestly, like, the most out of all
any
sports,
sport,
I'd have to say.
100%.
So football's been kind of the same thing. NBA's evolved a little bit. Obviously, the athletes and sports medicine
Baseball's been the same
is a
for
huge
100
thing.
years.
Baseball's the same, but hockey, the equipment, because they use so much different stuff, right,
Yeah.
to get on the ice. So it's definitely a debate that McDavid, you could say Crosby too, is more just purely skilled than Gretzky, but Gretzky obviously has these all-time numbers,
Yeah.
which puts him in a top athlete ever. So what do you think that, before you give your honorable mentions, that
Yep.
Gretzky and Crosby and McDavid are more skilled, like pure off skill, than Gretzky?
Yeah, absolutely, you know, but I think that's why we call it the greatest of all time and not the best of all time, you know. Yeah, obviously, you know, like McDavid, if you put him theoretically like one-on-one, it's gonna be an absolute nightmare, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, well,
Gretzky's gonna be out there bending his ankles a bit, but you know, like at the time, you can't look into the future and be like, oh yeah, this is what hockey's
It's gonna
gonna look
evolve.
like
I
in
knew
you were
50
gonna say what
years
they
from
are.
now.
go ahead, Mac.
But
Yeah. I think, obviously, right now, if you put with McDavid's technology, Crosby, McKinnon, obviously you put those guys back there today. They're way better than Gretzky, but
Yeah.
it's hard to say, you know, if they were theoretically born then, would they have the same access to get better, same equipment? So it's hard to say that these guys would be better, because look at the internet. You can learn how to stick handle. You can learn how to work out. You have all this access to great shit. Gretzky's born the 60s. He's got nothing. Hockey's barely even a sport back then. Nobody knows
Exactly.
it but Canadians. So
He found a way to be great. So
Yeah.
yeah, obviously, if it's obvious hypotheticals for every sport, that you could say the Jordan LeBron debate.
Yeah.
They didn't play the same competition. They didn't have these super teams now, which LeBron's played against, etc. But it's how you performed in your day and age, right? And that's what we got to
100%.
base it off of. So give me your honorable mentions here.
Yeah, so like Jake said, you know, I gotta go Pele. He's like 3 World Cups, and those happen every like 4 years.
Yeah.
He's
You know,
greatness
like,
for sure. Greatness.
That's crazy, you know. Like that will probably never be touched ever again.
No.
didn't he win at 19? Dude?
Yeah, he was young.
Yeah, like he was like one of the greatest of all time for the sport for sure. Definitely probably the greatest. But then this is kind of multiple, but the tennis
Okay.
big 3, you know.
Go ahead.
So we got Rafael Nadal,
Okay.
Novak Djokovic.
You gotta
and then
put
we
him
got
in there.
Roger Federer for sure.
You got to
know?
put Djokovic in there.
Like-
He's obviously changed his sport, and he's been dominant for so long
yeah,
now.
for sure, man. Like, well, those 3 as a whole, you know, like nobody else other than them probably won any other like big sort of championship in tennis over the past 15 years that they've been around. You know,
Absolutely.
and yeah, like, you know, when this era is done, which it almost is, nobody will be touching like the same numbers that they did. You know, there's not going to be another big 3 that's going to come around, sweep the whole sport, show everybody what's up. But yeah, so I got the big 3 for tennis, and then this is a hot take since I kind of went over and went 4 honorable mentions.
Go ahead.
Joey Chestnut, come on.
Wow.
That's valid.
So
Valid.
yeah,
This guy,
it's all
dominant.
come on, man. Nobody's going to be... How many championships does he have now? Like 17?
But he
16.
eats 74 hot
16?
dogs in like a
So
minute. Fuck.
there's obviously sides of this where people hate that Joey Chestnut's being mentioned as an athlete. Personally, I hate the fact that people call him an athlete
Well,
because
Fortnite players are athletes.
I wouldn't either.
Esports is an athlete.
So what do you think here? Is Joey Chestnut considered an athlete
wouldn't
to you,
call
or are
him
you
an
just shutting
athlete.
it down?
I wouldn't call him an athlete, but like what he does is impressive.
What he does is
Right.
absolutely
Like
impressive.
I wouldn't like. I don't know. It's so hard to say. I mean,
Obviously what he does, people call it gross, but it really is. If you have to look at it on a non-biased view, it is greatness. Like, as funny as it is,
Yeah,
great.
it is.
There's
nobody
nothing
can
else.
seriously do that in the world, and the way he prepares his body to do that,
Oh,
it's
disgusting.
One, it's
Yeah.
disgusting,
Yeah.
and 2, it's
Yeah.
pretty damn impressive. So
Yeah.
it's
Hey,
good to mix it up and
no,
If
throw
I
that
could do
in
it,
there
I would
because-
do it.
I just
I'm
feel
not
bad
gonna
for-
lie.
I
If
feel
I
bad
could
for
do
those
that, I
down
could
there.
do
I
it.
feel like one of the things about being athlete is like preparing your body for your sport,
Yeah.
And just like
He
obviously,
prepares.
That's facts.
MMA, you got to train
is
for
facts.
months and then hit the steam rooms and saunas, lose a ton of weight. Like, that's preparing your body,
Yeah.
Like, Joey Chestnut couldn't just come in there on a regular day and eat 74 hot dogs,
No,
Like,
it's
Hell,
it
you
really
gotta
is
do
preparation.
some next shit.
Yeah.
And I repeat, you got to do some crazy stuff, man. Like, those are absurd numbers, dude. And like he's
getting
putting
the
his
laxatives
body
going,
through
flushing
it,
the shit out.
Like,
Yeah.
honestly, like I don't know what his time span would be, or his lifespan, sorry.
Yep.
He's got to
But,
have
yeah,
a clogged
it's-
artery or something. Like,
Yeah,
That.
there's probably
He's got the Ryan
yeah.
McKellar diet.
So we're gonna get into the top 5 here, and I'm gonna start with my number 5. It really pains me to say it, as obviously a soccer fan my whole life. I've been a Ronaldo fan. I gotta go Lionel Messi at number 5. It was close, and I've had before the World Cup Ronaldo at number 1 from my point of view, but
fucking play.
I know you're disappointed back there, but Messi has won the World Cup, which is the number 1 achievement in soccer.
In my opinion.
Sure,
Yeah,
that's
sure,
fair.
man.
So you got a lot of leagues in soccer, Champions League, your own club league in whatever country, and then you have the World Cup, which is the tournament of all tournaments to not only represent your country, but everybody in the world is also watching. And he did it. He accomplished one of the greatest tournaments in all of sports, and I have to give credit where credit is due. Lionel Messi is my 5th best athlete of all time. Go ahead, Jake.
My 5th, Usain Bolt.
Talking
He's
to the
just- He's just unreal. Like, this guy's so fast. Like,
Oh, shit.
like, I don't know. Like,
Crazy
I don't know,
athletic,
man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he's just insane. His
A lot of
weird
these
here, but
people
his body is like
are great, but there's
jacked.
obviously a lot of these people that we're about to name are great, but there's so many like ways to describe them, how they've impacted the sport, the accomplishments they have, who they are as a person. It's just these people don't need to be explained, but if we're going to get into some debates later, we're going to obviously need some context to back it up. But Usain Bolt, obviously a generational athlete, fastest man on the planet, all of that type of stuff. Go ahead, Mac, with your number 5.
I got Mike Tyson.
Okay.
I don't think I need to say anything else. Beast,
Yeah.
heavyweight champ.
Yeah.
He's just a dog. He's got a pet tiger. What else do I need to say?
Yeah, so basing these lists, too, they're going to be based off. There's a lot of ways you can base your top 5 athletes on dominance, accomplishments, pure athleticism in their own sport, but you got to kind of put all those together and kind of who's the best, who is the best in their sport ever, and how dominant were they compared to the other ones in the all other of their sports. So go ahead with your number 5 here, Mac.
Yeah, we are really narrowing it down. It is tough to put like an exact top 5 for
It is.
who's the greatest athlete of all time. But I gotta think Michael Phelps.
Great.
Yeah, like there probably won't be anybody who touches the numbers he does and breaks the records that he did. And yeah, like if I could go back, I would say that's definitely one of my what am I trying to say? Like unbreakable records topics.
Okay.
But yeah, Michael Phelps, bunch of gold medals, bunch of silver medals, couple bronze medals. But
Greatness.
yeah, I think that he has the most Olympic medals of all time. So
Michael
If I'm not
Phelps.
mistaken.
Yeah,
12?
you're right. I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
it's-
We can
no,
fact
I think
check
it's
that if
something
we
more
want,
than that,
but-
like,
Yeah.
yeah, it could be. Yeah, I'm not too sure what it is to be honest, but
Anyways, I'm going to get into my number 4 here. And number 4, I do have Wayne Gretzky. We obviously just talked about this a bit before, but what he's done in his sport, you can't discredit it. He's one of the greats ever, obviously. And Jake touched on his points record, which will probably never be touched. Like we said, you could compare him to this generation, but he didn't have the outlets that obviously is now present in this time of day to be great. So maybe if he had those outlets, he could be even better than he was, which is pretty damn hard to do. And yeah, I got Wayne Gretzky at number 4. Go ahead, Jake.
All right. You can go a lot of ways here. Mac went Mike Tyson, but I'm going Floyd Mayweather. I mean, he's 50-0 or whatever he is, 52-0 now. I don't know, but
Yeah.
he's just crazy. Hands are so
Lost
quick.
Logan Paul, though.
Yeah.
Tied.
Yeah, my bad.
Whatever that was.
Tied.
I wouldn't even count that as a fight. That's,
No, it's not. It's
that's
just
such-
money grab.
Yeah.
Gimmick.
Yeah.
Basically.
So Floyd Mayweather,
Yeah.
interesting. Go ahead.
I think I'm going along with the boxing theme here.
Yeah.
Muhammad Ali.
Yeah.
I think when you look back at someone's impact and how they changed the sport, his footwork, his motivation.
Lean in a little bit more.
Oh, my
You're
bad.
good though.
Yeah, just the way you look at the sport in general, he kind of changed that and what it means to be a great boxer. Obviously, he was dominant. He won. I don't know the accolades. I'm gonna have to Google it. Just
Yeah. Everything.
off pure impact of the sport and how great of a people look up to Muhammad Ali. People have posters of this guy in his room.
Inspiration.
Inspirational guy.
Float
Number
like a
4.
butterfly, sting like a bee, right?
Yeah. You know this quote. He's got to be pretty good.
Go ahead, Mac.
That is true. Yeah, I'm kind of taking this a different route from you, Russ, but I got to go Bo Jackson. Obviously,
fair.
Bo Jackson, like,
Multi-sport
yeah,
athlete.
multi-sport professional athlete at the highest level. Heisman winner.
Keep going.
What else did he have? Heisman winner.
Rushing
SEC
record.
Player of the Year. Yeah, 2-time All-American, and then 3-time first-team All-SEC. Come on, man. And on top of that, an all-star in the MLB.
Come on,
Like,
man.
I know we got Deion Sanders, but he wasn't putting up those Bo Jackson numbers.
He
you know?
wasn't, no.
And yeah, I think that if we're talking about greatest athletes of all time, something's got to be said for just pure natural athleticism.
You got to put that in as a
That's
factor.
facts.
Yeah. If
Yeah,
you
we
could-
don't,
I
we
agree.
don't,
I
we don't
agree.
see any of that in Kiwanis, but that's okay. We don't see it in a lot of places in the world. But
No, that's
Bo
definitely
Jackson,
he is
top
definitely
5.
one of one. Definitely one of one. Bo Jackson. I'm gonna get
For
into
sure.
my number 3, which you stated. Muhammad Ali. Not only was he a legendary boxer in the ring, but he is, I want to say, the most influential athlete ever. He stood up. Obviously, he was in a day and age where a lot of political stuff was still going on, etc. And he stood up for what was right, and he fought through it for whatever he believed in, and it ended up turning out for the greater good. He's looked at as a legend in all sports. You can look up to him, honestly. He's one of the most motivational, inspirational people ever, and he is definitely one of the greats. Like you said, people look up to him, posters in your room, his quotes, all that stuff. Muhammad Ali is a top 3 athlete ever, in my opinion. Go ahead, Jake.
Okay. I got Messi. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, he could go 1 on some people. He
He
could go
could.
10. Like, all these guys could go anywhere, even in the top 10. Like, I could put Pele up there. But, yeah, I got Messi. Just unreal, obviously.
Greatness,
Greatness,
every
yeah.
year.
Exactly.
Go ahead, Mac.
Another theme, Jake already touched on it, but I think pure athleticism, you can't teach this. They always say you can't teach speed. I got Usain Bolt. I don't think I'd want anyone in the world chasing after me. This guy's what, 6'6", jacked, runs a sub 10. Even if he never set those records or won, I just think pure athleticism like Bo Jackson, Deion Sanders, that has to be taken into account, and he's arguably one of the greatest athletes, period. Not even greatness, just athleticism pure.
Yeah. All right, Mac, number 3.
yeah, I'm gonna follow you behind here, Russ. I'm gonna go with Bolt as well,
Okay.
dude.
Go ahead.
There's not really anywhere where you could start with this guy.
Superhuman.
Yes.
If I was
One time-
walking home late at night and he was following me, you're done. You're done.
Yeah, man, it's
It's a
just-
crazy way to put it, but
Yeah, that is a crazy way to put it, but all right. anyways,
all right.
yeah, he's like you were saying, 6'7", just jacked, superhuman.
It's just stupid, man.
And he, I remember one time I heard or read or something like that he has just resting, he has a 40 beat per minute heartbeat. His heart beats 40 times per minute, which is just absurd. And he takes
Mine's like 100.
yeah, exactly. Just sitting there, just watching TV. But no, this guy's a 40 BPM, which is just insane. And obviously he's a sprinter. He doesn't really need that.
From Jamaica,
But
that's
it just has something to. It just says something with the type of athlete he is, But yeah, Usain Bolt, number 3.
Okay, so now we're gonna get into we could have mixed opinions here, and I'm gonna go number 2. I'm gonna go Michael Jordan, 6-time NBA champion, 1-time Defensive Player of the Year, Rookie of the Year, 6-time Finals MVP, 5-time MVP, 14-time All-Star, All-Star Game MVP 3 times, and 10 times NBA first team. This guy's resume, I could go on for an hour about it, but I'm not going to, because the greatness of Michael Jordan is self-explanatory. He is one of one. There will never be another Michael Jordan again. He is the greatest NBA basketball player of all time, for me, in my opinion, and the guy can do everything. He just defines greatness, and whenever there's something that he must complete, he has completed it. Michael Jordan's just greatness. I'm going to go ahead and let you go here, Jake.
I got the same thing. You covered it all anyway, so.
Michael Jordan, number 2.
Mac.
All right, go ahead, Mac.
All right. I might be a little biased here because I grew up watching this guy. Made me fall in love with the sport of basketball. LeBron James.
Wow. Okay.
You're a goofy goober. That's crazy.
I think, in my opinion, the NBA.
Goober.
Go ahead. Let him talk. We can go.
In my opinion, the NBA has the greatest athletes in the world. You don't have 7-footers pulling up for jump shots in another sport.
They're all unicorns.
Just jumping, everything about it. In this era, as sports evolve, it gets better and better. Better competition every single year with technology, training, just human evolution. They're always going to be better. LeBron James, obviously greatness to win, clutchness, playing in super teams, but not only that, his longevity. The guy's 38 years old, just broke the scoring record. I can see him keep going another 3 years. I don't think I'm see him slowing down. LeBron James, second greatest athlete of all time, and the second best basketball player of all time.
Go ahead. Do you want to regurgitate on that?
No, how I ended it off was just the way I liked it. So.
All right.
But
go ahead.
I was gonna say Wayne Gretzky, just
number 2.
Yeah,
okay.
Number 2. Just how he touched on, he's not the best of all time, but he's the greatest of all time. He really did change the game, and has unbreakable records, like Jake was saying. He's just definitely top 2 greatest athlete of all time for sure.
All right.
Undoubtedly.
So at number 2 we had Jordan, LeBron, Wayne Gretzky, and that brings me to my number 1. Not only the greatest athlete of all time, but my favorite athlete of all time, Tom Brady. 7-time Super Bowl champion, 5-time Super Bowl MVP, 3-time MVP, 3 times first team All-Pro. Tom Brady, the definition of a winner. He's not the most athletic. He wasn't the quickest. He wasn't the strongest, but his mindset was like no other. He was just a winner, and Tom Brady could not be stopped from when it was his first time he got a chance when Drew Bledsoe went down for the Patriots to when he went to Tampa Bay as a 40-year-old man when everybody doubted him. He puts on a show, and he is the best athlete I've ever witnessed in my growing up. And he is my greatest athlete ever, Tom Brady. Go ahead, Jake, with your number 1. Go ahead.
You said this at the start of the podcast. Obviously my thing a lot is athleticism.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing.
Okay.
And when you play sports, your goal is to win.
Yep.
A lot of people laugh when you said that, but I think at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how he does it. He finds a way to win, and I can't knock you for that. It's a hot 100%. Take, but if you're going by getting the job done, I think Brady is the best. But for me personally, I could never let that be in my list because I just love dogs. I love seeing 6'5" freak of nature's windmill dunk on your head.
You love the athlete prototype.
Yeah.
But I got to base my list off who's the best at their sport and how they have dominated and just how the list fluctuates. So Tom Brady is my greatest athlete of all time. Go ahead, Jake.
All right, well, I'm a hockey guy, so obviously I'm a little bit biased here. Anyone could go here, but I got PK Subban. No, I'm kidding. I got Wayne Gretzky, obviously.
Okay.
His resume is just unreal.
Yeah.
Could go on for days about it, but
it's the same thing we said about
exactly.
Alec. All right, mine. I wore his shoes the other day. Influential dog resume, Michael Jordan.
Great, putting him over LeBron. I respect it.
I won't ever say anyone else is the best athlete when I hear, hey, yo, I'm going to rob you for your Serena Williams shoes. Jordan is that impactful. You can't knock the guy. Played, semi-pro baseball in, 2 years in time off the NBA. Yeah. Came back, won a chip.
And just won, yeah.
I know you watched that Last Dance documentary. Dude is a dog. 6'6", 50-inch vertical, could probably dunk over a car. Dude, Michael Jordan, greatest athlete of all time. I don't
obviously-
think it matters what sport he signs up for.
He'll
I
be
think
great.
you put him in soccer, baseball, basketball, football. I think he's the man.
What about hockey?
I think he's a better athlete than 99% of any NHL player to
I
ever
agree.
touch the ice.
Okay,
I
so
agree.
You're telling me he couldn't be a better athlete than Cole Caulfield?
No.
Than McDavid? McDavid's built like a 170-pound string bean.
so obviously Michael Jordan, he changed the game of basketball forever, but he's changed
Sports culture.
life and sports culture.
Spider-Man
Yeah.
wears Jordans. That's all I have to say.
Everybody wants to wear
Spider-Man in the
Jordans.
multiverse,
So-
baby. Let's go.
He's changed. Great movie, by the way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
it was-
cried.
It was mid. Anyways, but
Terrible
I
take.
got MJ
That's a hot
too.
take. Go ahead.
But I'm
Number
gonna
one.
put,
Number one.
I'm gonna put all these Michael Jordan, LeBron debates to sleep right now.
Okay, do it right now. Get into the mic too.
So, we like to talk about. I'm gonna put it into this perspective. We got Wayne Gretzky. You know, like we said, yeah, he's the greatest of all time, but he's not the best of all time. You know. And then we got like. We'll put Alex Ovechkin in there too, just because
Sure.
Alex Ovechkin, you know, he's catching them.
One of the best goal scorers ever.
Yeah, exactly. One of the best goal scorers of all time. You know, if Alex Ovechkin breaks his
Goals record.
goals record, yeah, we're not going to say, oh yeah, Alex Ovechkin's the greatest player of all time. You know,
Greatest goal
'cause-
scorer ever.
Or yeah, sorry, the greatest goal scorer of all time. You know, because yeah, obviously he's got that longevity like LeBron, but he can't do it in like the short time frame with the heat of the prime. You know.
Yes.
And, you know, I'm not going to take anything away from Alex Ovechkin, obviously. You know, obviously he's a great player, great goal scorer, one of the greats. Yeah, but, yeah, like, he just won't be on that same Gretzky level just because he hasn't done the same amount. It's the same thing with Jordan and LeBron, you know. Jordan, he put up a ton of numbers, and how long did you say his career was? Like 14 years?
Yeah,
Something
it
like
wasn't that long.
14 years, and LeBron's going into his, 23rd?
21st.
21st. Yeah, so he's like, obviously, you know, that's great, you know, like he's just 38, still playing basketball, still looks good. Although he does have to shave it off, he still looks good out there.
It is time to go bald.
Yeah, it is, you know, like
Who
if
else
he
just
actually
go
wants to be one of the
What?
greats, you know,
Did
you
someone
got
else
to take
just
it
go
off,
bald?
you know.
They shave their head.
Derek White.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Oh,
was
yeah.
time for him too. Go. Keep going though.
But yeah, no, so like, no, obviously LeBron's top 2 all time, but I can't put him at 1 for that reason, you know. He's just like, he's also got that knowledge that there's somebody that played before him that has all these records that he has to beat so that he can be in the greatest of all time discussion, you know. Jordan in 86 isn't going to look into the future and be like, oh yeah, there's going to be this guy LeBron chasing all my records trying to be the greatest of all time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the same thing that I was saying about Gretzky. But yeah, so Michael Jordan, greatest athlete of all time, greatest basketball player of all time, and putting it to sleep right now.
Okay, so
And a great businessman.
And a great businessman for sure. You know?
obviously. Okay. So, our number 1 athletes of all time, Tom Brady, Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan. So, will this guy be one of the greats too? We're going to go into Victor Wembanyama, who's just recently drafted, the craziest prospect since LeBron, and probably the craziest prospect ever in terms of his build.
Any sport.
7'4", jump shot, super raw because he's obviously got no muscle to him. But we're gonna get into how many rings will Victor Wembanyama win in his career, and I'll start first. I think that Victor Wembanyama, I don't think he'll be we'll be talking about him in like the top 5 greatest players of all time, top 10. I think he'll win 2 rings in his career. Obviously, he's drafted with the Spurs. Will he stay there his whole career? Probably not, unless he's one of those players that's one of those rare players, honestly, that's with the same team forever. But I think that him and Greg Popovich have a great foundation. Greg Popovich, in my opinion, the greatest basketball coach ever, with the
Not
craziest
crazy to say that.
with
It's
the
not crazy
with
to
the
say that.
craziest prospect ever. I think it's obviously going to be a combo for success. The Spurs don't have a lot right now, but they've got a good base to build with obviously those two and Greg Popovich recently getting extended. So I think building around Wembanyama, I think when they're able to contend. I think Wembanyama's purely good enough to win them one ring with a solid team around them. But I think if Wembanyama shows that he can max out his potential, I think he can win 2 rings. I think he can easily win 2 rings or more, because this is a guy that does, if he can put on 15, 20 pounds, and he really has every skill set but that brute strength, which Giannis, he came into the league like this too. He had everything but a jump shot, and he bulked up, and now look at him. He's one of the most dominant players in the league. So I think Wembanyama with this coaching staff, and he landed in a pretty good spot. So I think that he can win a couple rings in San Antonio, if not somewhere else. But he just needs to max out his potential in his first couple of years. Go ahead, Jake. What do you think? And what do you think of him too as a prospect?
Honestly, I don't know. I think he's a little bit too small right now, at least. If he bulks up, I think he can be a good player. I don't know if he'll be a LeBron James or anything or anywhere there like you said, but I don't know. I think he's way too skinny right now.
Yeah,
I mean, in the NBA, and I don't know how much
playing
he weighs,
center,
but
that skinny.
Yeah,
is
like
a
he's gonna
problem.
get bodied. It's just bound to happen. He's tall, yeah, but I don't know.
Strength will weigh down.
Yeah, exactly. I think strength takes you longer way than height.
So if you were to give a
whatever.
prediction here, how many rings?
I give him one.
You give him one ring?
I give him a little one.
You think you'll get one? Okay. Wemby, one ring.
And
I
I'll
got
go
him.
Mickey Mouse ring too.
Mickey Mouse ring?
Yeah.
Okay.
If he doesn't put on weight.
Okay, go ahead.
I find the weight argument stupid. Not that saying that it doesn't matter. I'm saying he's in the NBA.
Yeah.
He has access to the greatest chefs, nutritionists, weight trainers in the world.
Well,
This
we're
guy's the
talking.
number one- Yeah. I'm saying he will bulk up. The weight
He will.
won't be an
Yes,
issue.
I believe that too.
He will put on the weight. He has an unbelievable bag. The only person I can think that comes close to him is Kevin Durant, the
Yeah.
unicorn.
I love that take.
And speaking of Kevin Durant, I think in the beginning of his career with the greatest coach of all time, he will learn the game. He will get that bag. He won't be raw anymore. But I don't see him winning a ring in San Antonio. I see him going after the Kevin Durant, Mickey Mouse, joins a super team, and with you can't really build a team around that. But if you add a player like that to an already good team, you're not stopping it.
No.
So I think he wins 1 to 2 rings. I think he doesn't win them in San Antonio. I think he joins a super team and gets his 2 rings. And I think he's a top 75 NBA player of all time.
Okay, so we've got a Victor Wembanyama pulls a KD on the San Antonio Spurs and wins with not a super team, but a team that was already built to contend, and he is the piece that gets them over top. Okay, Wembanyama 2 rings, you say?
I say 2.
2 rings, go ahead.
Yeah, so I think that people always oversee how much your actual mental, your mental well-being and how you kind of pursue the game has on your game, obviously there's all this talk about how good somebody should be and
Yes.
based on the trajectory that they should go on, but we always forget about mentality, confidence, and injuries and stuff like that. If he wants to start next season and play a good chunk of the season, he's gonna have to stay healthy. And, at his weight with that height, it's just not with all those long levers and stuff too. Yeah, it's not sustainable. But I like how you guys were comparing him to Giannis. It's the same idea. He could bulk up a ton, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like it'll be kind of tougher for him because Giannis, he has something to prove, whereas for Wemby, it just doesn't kind of seem like that, he's always just been on top.
It came
whole
sweet
life.
for him, yeah.
Yeah, it just came
Giannis
easy.
wasn't
He's
the
got,
number one
he's
pick.
just,
Yeah, actually.
Yeah,
He had to
exactly.
grind to get his family out
for
from
sure.
poverty.
But
yeah.
I feel like,
Out the trenches.
Wembanyama, I don't feel like he comes kind of from that kind of nature.
He
I
doesn't.
feel like that's a huge part of where
What your
confidence
mentality
and,
is.
mentality is.
Because
But yeah.
Giannis was playing to feed his family. Wembanyama right now
Yeah.
is playing for the social media. You could say he's playing for the social media clicks
Yeah,
in
for
the
sure.
in the rings. Giannis just wanted to be a player where he could provide to his family. That was his
Definitely.
biggest worry. Wembanyama right now, his biggest worry is what his next Instagram post is going to be.
Yeah,
it's true,
exactly.
but that's how the day and age has became.
Exactly. But no, with all that being said, I think that'll still be a solid player in the NBA. I would never say he's a first option.
Really?
But, I wouldn't say
Okay.
that he'd be like a first option. Maybe like next year on the Spurs, like they were just like, oh yeah, this is our first option guy.
Yeah, he obviously
whether or
will
not
be.
he should be the first option.
Like on a championship level team,
Yeah,
he won't
exactly.
be a first
like,
option.
if he wants to win a championship, kind of like what you were saying, Russ, and you, Jake, I guess too. It's like if he wants to have like a successful season with winning the chip, then he's gonna need to do something aside from himself.
With help, he's gonna need another
he'll have to
superstar.
have a superstar. He'll be like I don't want to say he's gonna be as good as KD, because KD's obviously like one of the greats of the.
But he has
of
the
the
potential
game.
to be.
But yeah, he has the potential to be. It's just like whether or not he allows himself to go through and
Okay.
follow that potential.
So, final prediction: how many rings does Victor Wembanyama win in his career?
Maybe one.
1.
Yeah, maybe one.
Okay, so we've got 2, 1, 2, 1. Interesting. So we'll see how Victor Wembanyama pans out, and we'll come back to this in 15 years to see.
Well, I was just gonna say, I don't know if you can really judge his mindset and his mentality now.
Okay.
I think if you look at the NBA nowadays and the landscape of these prospects, obviously 20 years ago they all had to make it out. Look at the suits they wear to the game. Nowadays these guys pull up and bust down ice. It's all every single prospect has that same mindset. It's I want the clout. I want to be the best. But who wouldn't? You're getting paid how many millions of dollars? I think it's unfair to judge the guy because he's the best right now that saying, oh, he doesn't want it. You don't see all the hours he puts in this craft. You don't see all the behind the scenes. I think that's a really unfair statement to say he doesn't have the mindset when he hasn't played a regular NBA season or a game.
So you think the mindsets could still be the same from like
100%.
20 years ago to now?
Yeah,
It's just
100%.
how you present yourself on
I think
social media.
on the other end of the spectrum, he has all this pressure on him. He may want it more. Giannis, there's no
there wasn't
fail.
really any pressure.
He's the 13th overall pick. If he doesn't pan out, whatever, he gets his check, he makes his $1 million, he moves his mom out. This guy has all the pressure. Everyone's saying this guy's going to be the next best thing. He's the best prospect in any sport, period. Everyone's talking about him. I think that puts a toll on you. Obviously, it's about how he handles it, but that could be an indicator of I want to be the best. I want to prove everyone I am the best.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a very good point.
Like,
Do you want to say something here?
But yeah, like putting the title on a kid, like how old is he? He's not
19.
very old. 19.
Yeah, he said 2004.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Like
didn't know
putting
that.
that
2004.
pressure on a kid, saying like, "Oh yeah, this kid's the greatest."
What am I doing with
prospect.
my life?
This kid's the best prospect of all time. Saying that to just like if somebody said that to me, I'd be like, "Holy shit! Like I got something to prove." That's just like saying like, 15 years from now, Victor Wembanyama is going to be first on my greatest of all time list. And I feel like, as a kid hearing that, you feel like
It's
you got to
hard.
do a lot. It's hard, and I feel like the second that you don't feel like you're doing that immediately,
It's going to get
and
to your
you get
head.
the hate, especially with all the social media access now.
Yeah.
Like, obviously players don't like to read the media and all that.
But they do. They
But
see
they
it.
do. Yeah, exactly. That's why we got Kevin Durant with
Burn
like,
on
burner
8
for-
burners. Yeah. And
Not
yeah,
even the
Yeah,
burner.
so-
just
social
control it.
social media is definitely the biggest weapon to these players. It
Yeah.
can get in your head so much, no matter who you are, and because there's so much stuff. that can
Mikey
go-
Williams,
You can name
John Morant,
so,
Jalen Green.
so many people, but that's a very good point both of you made.
Jalen Green would be my athletic superpower if I had to choose one player's bag. I would take Jalen Green's thrust game.
Jesus.
That's crazy.
Jalen Green's thrust game on my body, unstoppable. And no, you don't have to close the schools.
Bro, okay, bro, whatever.
Wow.
We're gonna get into the next topic here. This guy's just talking for fun.
Dude, this guy's getting a bit too comfortable.
That's crazy, but whatever. We're gonna go quickly here. I'm saving mine for late August, but we're gonna give you guys your guys' Super Bowl picks this year, and I'm
I'm saving mine for late August.
I'm saving it because we got a whole episode planned
All right,
out to
all right.
give it out. But go ahead, Mac.
Which Mac?
Roy.
I don't know, man. Obviously in any sport it's hard to repeat, but the Kansas City Chiefs, they'll always be there, man. As long as Pat Mahomes is there and they got Travis Kelce, this guy's looking at me like I'm a delusional idiot.
No, you're right. You're absolutely
But
right.
dude, Pat Mahomes will always be there. I'm not saying that he's necessarily going to win the Super Bowl.
He's one
but
of those
he'll-
ones, bro.
he'll
He's
be
always in the mix.
Yeah, he'll be in the conference championship for sure. Joey Ice, man, come on, like he's gonna have his opportunity at some point. He's really proven himself in the league.
Yep.
Well, yeah, obviously those guys are in the same division. I'm ready to see Brock Purdy come back this season from that elbow surgery or whatever he got.
Yep.
I'm excited to see if he can bring that energy from last season and do the things that he was doing when he was doing well last season. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of tough. If I had to put a team on it, though, I'm gonna say the Kansas City Chiefs again. I'll put them. I'll be nice to my boys over, nice to my buddy Brock Purdy. I'll put him in that championship.
Chiefs 49ers 2019 rematch. Go ahead, Mac.
You're going to call me delusional. I don't care. It's my favorite player of all time. Odell Beckham Jr. gets his second Super Bowl.
Ooh.
Ravens. Dual threat quarterback.
Love him.
You can't knock the guy.
Got the jersey over there.
I think the Ravens win the Super Bowl.
Against?
I have no fucking clue. I just know they're winning, baby.
Just the Ravens.
I can't say it too early.
Ravens Super Bowl.
Or the Browns.
Tape. Ravens or Browns. Okay, interesting. Go ahead, Jake. Who's your Super Bowl prediction here?
I'm not a football guy, but we'll throw out the 49ers.
To win the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
To play? Anyone or just you got the 49ers
we can
winning
go
it?
versus
Chiefs?
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys got Chiefs 49ers. Chiefs win. 49ers win. Baltimore Ravens win. Great sleeper pick
We'll have to
there.
put a bet on that then.
Dude, this guy's
Who
pretty
makes
much
it farther?
hooping, though.
Yeah.
You can't bring up the Ravens around this guy. He's pretty much wee hooping.
I love me some Lamar Jackson. I can't lie.
Can't lie. That guy is a fucking dog.
He is. I love Lamar.
I love to watch him play. I'd love to watch that guy play in a Super Bowl. He's already the most entertaining electric player.
He is.
Put him on the
definitely
biggest
an electric
stage. That's just a recipe for a great time.
player. Okay, so we're going to get into the last topic here. Obviously, we've got 3 former hockey players, one currently playing, obviously a champion of his own. We're going to go, would you rather...
Hey, 2 U Sports football players, by the way.
Okay. Would you rather prime Carey Price? You're obviously a Montreal Canadiens diehard fan.
I won't be biased here.
Montreal Canadiens diehard fan. We had to throw it in here. Would you rather prime Carey Price? First name, prime Marc-Andre Fleury. Go ahead, Mac. Russell.
Carey Price.
Go ahead.
Oh, no explanation?
We'll get an explanation.
Okay.
Go ahead. Just give me a name.
Fleury. Prime.
Okay.
His prime wasn't long, but Fleury.
Carey Price.
Carey Price. I got it.
Okay. Explanation.
I don't know, dude.
This is very close.
Yeah, it is.
That guy, when he didn't have a long prime, and then he kind of he didn't have a long prime at all. But at his peak of his game, he was the best.
He was crazy.
Yeah, he was insane.
Go ahead.
I'm not even biased. Sidney Crosby was my favorite player growing up. I watched all 3 of those cups. I think Marc-Andre Fleury is probably one of my favorite goalies to watch, period. Freak athlete. Guy does the splits like it's nothing.
Yeah.
I think if you put Carey Price with that team with Chris Letang, Kunitz, Crosby, Malkin,
They win.
I think he wins.
They win.
Uh-huh.
I'm not knocking on Marc-Andre Fleury. He's a great goalie, but Carey Price never had that team to carry. Did you see that roster he took to the Stanley Cup final? A bunch of fucking AHL players. Carey Price is, in my opinion, the greatest goalie all time.
Yeah, Carey Price is definitely one of one. But there is also, when we were growing up, a lot of generational goalies here that you don't see too often. Next name, prime Roberto Luongo. Go ahead.
Did that guy ever win anything?
Who are you taking?
Carey Price. Roberto.
Honestly, dude, yeah, I'd probably have to take Carey Price, but I feel like Roberto Luongo is kind of before I can really remember names, you know?
Mm-hmm. That
Okay,
Stanley
fair.
Cup final, I was like 6.
That's fair. I'm going to go Carey Price. Go ahead.
I'm going to go Carey Price. I just remember Luongo being an ass.
I just remember when the Panthers.
That's not too much of
I
a
remember
debate.
him on Vancouver a little
Next
bit.
name, prime Hendrik Lundqvist. Go ahead.
The guy is so handsome, I almost want to say him, but honestly, Carey Price.
Okay, go ahead.
I gotta agree, man. You can't bring this up around Lucas Young, but I gotta go Carey Price.
I got to go Carey Price as well.
I'll go Carey Price.
On the world stage, though, Olympics, I might have to say Henrik Lundqvist, but in the NHL hockey, Carey Price.
Okay. Next name, prime Martin Brodeur.
Ooh.
I'll go first. This one I'm gonna take prime Martin Brodeur. Another person like Price never had championship teams around them, just willing his team every year though. I'm gonna go Brodeur. Go ahead, Jake.
That's a hard one because they're 2 different style goalies, 2 different eras.
Yep.
I mean, I don't think any answer here is a wrong answer. I don't know, man. Honestly, Probably Price.
Go ahead.
Just for enterprise commercials, Martin Brodeur.
Go ahead.
Yeah, once again, Marty Brodeur before my memory,
Time,
but
yeah.
from what I understand, Marty Brodeur for sure.
Okay, so yeah, this is obviously neck and neck again. It just prefers what type of style you want, and both not evident winners every year, but they willed their team every year, and they did all they could. But
Yep.
at the end of the day, they never had teams put around them to be real contenders. We got two more names here. We're gonna go prime Tim Thomas. I'll start first. As a Bruins fan, I gotta go Carey Price.
Could I second that?
Tim
Yeah.
Thomas.
I think Tim Thomas, just because he didn't want to go to the White House because he's a redneck, I gotta say Carey Price. The guy's way too racist to be in any debate.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, Tim Thomas. I just remember him being in like NHL Slapshot. You know, like that guy's a throwback. But no, Carey Price for sure.
Go ahead, Jake.
Carey Price.
Yeah, it's not too much of a debate. Last name here, recent prime Andre Vasilevsky, which his prime could be last year, a couple of years ago. I'm gonna let you go first here.
I got Vasilevsky.
Yeah.
Price can't even handle this guy. Every time they went against each other, you got shit on.
Go ahead.
Carey Price.
Oh, yeah.
Christ.
Yeah, Vasilevsky, he just had a short prime as well. Like, it wasn't too long. I remember he was the backup behind Ben Bishop. You know, like, whatever happened to that
6'6" dog.
Yeah.
Like, but
Shell
yeah,
cheat code, by the way.
Yeah.
If you ever want to win, fucking draft that guy. Like, 2K off the marketplace.
So who are you going here?
I'll go Vasilevsky as well. Although Price did have more good years than Vasilevsky.
He did.
He did.
I'm gonna go also Andre Vasilevsky. So
I just think that Vasilevsky didn't choke under pressure, and Price did. Like, Vasilevsky just had that mentality of, like, I don't give a fuck, ever. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's
but
a
look at the
ru-
team this
'cause
guy
he's a
had
ru-
around
I know,
him.
he did have a good team, but
He'd
That's
point
all- that's
Kucherov,
true.
Stamkos,
Yeah.
Hedman, Sergachev. I think you put that team in front of Carey Price, he wins like 5 rings.
Yeah, probably.
Every Stanley Cup team, like obviously you can't win without a guy like Vasilevsky, but I think you build a team around Carey Price, he's hands down the greatest goalie all time. He wins.
okay.
yeah.
So before we end off this episode, we're gonna do just a yes or no, no context. Will Connor Bedard win a Stanley Cup in Chicago? Yes or no?
No.
He'll win an AHL championship.
Go ahead. Yes or no?
I'll spice it up, yeah.
I'm also going to go yes. I think Connor Bedard's going to bring a Stanley Cup to Chicago. That's going to do it for episode 9 of the Alec Frengos Show. I hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you next time.